Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to dig into something big? We're tackling the qualifying work experience today, the QWE thing. It's a pretty big deal for anyone aiming for that solicitor title.
It definitely is. It's all thanks to Dr. Ioannis Glinavos, by the way.
Oh, right. For those who don't know, he's practically written the book on the SQE.
He's got this free newsletter every single Monday. It's packed with SQE practice questions and study tips. You should check it out.
Definitely will. And he has that YouTube channel too, right? Loads of resources on there. But, okay, back to QWE. I think there's still some confusion about what it actually is.
Yeah, I get that. Basically, it's about proving you've got the skills to cut it as a solicitor, 2 years of full-time experience, or the equivalent if you're doing part-time. And it's not just about having solicitor on your business card. It's about the actual work you do. You'd be surprised at the places that count.
Oh. Like what? Give me some examples.
Think charities, in-house legal departments, law clinics, even some places abroad.
Hold on, wait. Abroad. So hypothetically, if my passion is international law, could I do an internship with, say, a human rights organization in South America, and that would count?
Yep, absolutely. Location, job title, those aren't the focus. It's about what you're doing, the substance of the work itself. Imagine qualifying as a solicitor, but with experience from different legal systems, different legal cultures. Talk about a unique perspective.
That's pretty cool. Now, let's say someone's a bit worried that working at a legal aid clinic, for example, wouldn't carry the same weight as experience in a big corporate firm. What would you say to them?
I'd say they're not alone in thinking that, but it's a misunderstanding we hear a lot. It's not about the size of the firm, the type of clients. It's about the quality of your work, how well you're demonstrating those core solicitor competencies.
Which are, just to remind everyone.
Oh, everything from legal knowledge to research skills, client care, communication, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
Working at a legal aid clinic, you're likely thrown in the deep end, diverse cases, maybe even representing clients in court. That builds resilience, problem solving, thinking on your feet. Those are valuable skills anywhere.
Absolutely. You'd be surprised how relevant those skills from, say, volunteering at a citizens advice bureau could be. Even something like high-stakes litigation, clear communication, client management, they're just as important as the legal stuff.
100%. It's all about connecting those dots, showing how your experience, wherever it's from, has given you those skills outlined in the competencies. And that's where it gets interesting, especially if you've got some prior legal experience under your belt already.
Okay, hold on. Let's unpack this because I bet there are tons of paralegals out there wondering if their years of experience count for anything in this new system.
You'd be right. They do. The good news is your previous experience can count towards QWE. It's not automatic, though. You've got to be able to show that the experience, even if it was ages ago, gave you those solicitor skills, the ones. That's why keeping a good record of your work is so important.
So, dig out those old performance reviews, any client testimonials, anything that shows what you can do.
Exactly. So let's say you've been a paralegal for a few years. You've done everything from research to drafting. Remember those late nights, making sure every single detail was perfect? You were actually honing those analytical and research skills without even realizing it.
It's true. All that hard work really pays off.
For sure. But here's something interesting about QWE. It's not just about what you did, but how those experiences actually shaped how you see the solicitor's role,
Okay, I'm intrigued. What do you mean by that, shaping how you see the role?
Think about it. Every single task, every client you talk to, every ethical dilemma you deal with, it all builds up right. It gives you a deeper understanding of what being a solicitor really means.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how do you show that deeper understanding when you apply for QWE?
By thinking about it, reflecting, that's where that SRA template we talked about can be really useful. It's not just about listing what you did, it's about explaining what you learned, how you grew.
So it's not just ticking boxes.
Yeah.
It's about making the connection between those experiences and the bigger picture of being a solicitor.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about confirmation.
Okay, yeah, confirmation, I can imagine that's a bit scary for some people.
It's understandable. Having someone go over your experience like that can be a bit daunting.
Especially if, like you said earlier, their old supervisors have moved on or they work somewhere without those traditional solicitor roles.
That's when being prepared and communicating clearly is key. Remember, the confirming solicitor isn't there to judge if you'd be a good solicitor or not. They just make sure your experience is legit. Did you actually do the work? For how long? And did it involve legal services? It's not about your personality or anything like that.
Okay, that's good to know. But what if there's a disagreement on what counts as QWE? What if, even after all that, you and your supervisor don't see eye to eye?
That's a really good question. The SRA knows these situations happen. They actually have a special QWE helpline, a direct line to experts who can give you advice. They can help with those tricky situations. It's like a safety net.
That's really good to know. It makes you feel less alone in the process. It feels like the SRA is really there to support aspiring solicitors, you know?
Right. It's not just about them either. When you're deciding where to get your QWE, think about the organization's attitude towards mentorship, towards professional development.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's not just about getting those 2 years done. It's about making them count.
Exactly. Look for places that give regular feedback where you can talk about your progress, figure out what to improve, actually get some constructive criticism. That's where you'll learn and grow the most.
So it's about choosing an experience that ticks the legal experience box, but also gives you the support you need to really excel.
Exactly. Now, before we move on, let's address something we often hear from aspiring solicitors. What if your experience isn't from a traditional law firm? Can working at a charity or an in-house legal department really prepare you for the challenges of being a solicitor?
I bet a lot of people are wondering that. They might worry that it's not as rigorous as a traditional training contract. What would you say to that?
Honestly, I think that worry comes from an outdated view of what being a lawyer is all about. Things are changing fast. Take charities, for example. You're dealing with regulations, negotiating with stakeholders. Those are valuable skills anywhere, even in corporate law.
Right.
And in a legal aid clinic, you learn to solve problems, manage clients under pressure. Those are assets no matter what kind of law you practice.
So it's less about where you get the experience and more about how you connect it to those competencies to your career goals.
Exactly. That's why you've got to be proactive about QWE. Don't just wait for opportunities to fall in your lap. Figure out your strengths, look into different areas of law, and go after organizations that match what you want to do.
Be the architect of your own career.
That's it. And hey, the SRA has tons of resources to help. Their website breaks down each competency, gives real-life examples of how to show them in different settings.
And don't be afraid to reach out to solicitors, especially those working in areas you're interested in. Even a quick chat can give you so much insight, open up doors you didn't even know were there.
Absolutely. Networking is key.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as we wrap up, let's switch gears from strategy to mindset. It's easy to get bogged down in the details of QWE, the competencies, the paperwork, getting it all confirmed. But how you approach it all mentally matters too.
That's so true. It's not just about checking boxes. It's about really using those 2 years to learn, grow, and figure out who you are as a legal professional.
Exactly. See QWE as a chance to explore different areas of law, try out different workplaces, and find out what really clicks with you. Don't be afraid to try something new, to push yourself, and even to make a few mistakes along the way.
It's not just about becoming a solicitor. It's about becoming the best darn solicitor you can be.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And remember, while knowing your stuff is crucial, it's your character, your integrity, your commitment to doing things the right way. Those are the things that'll truly make you stand out.
Beautifully said. So, to everyone listening, to anyone starting their SQE journey, embarking on their QWE, you've got this. Embrace the challenge, go for it, and never forget why you chose this path to make a real difference in the world.
And if you ever need a hand, need some inspiration, Dr. Ioannis and all those resources he's put together are just a click away.
Couldn't agree more. Go out there and make your mark on the legal world.
We're rooting for you every step of the way.